This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
New at 11, a fight for the future of 3 Indianapolis schools after IPS voted to part ways with a charter school group.
It's a complicated saga, but families and teachers are paying close attention. Emma Donnan Elementary and Middle, Thomas Carr Howe, and Emmerich Manual High were all struggling back in 2012 when the state took over to turn things around. Charter Schools USA was put in charge to help with that. IPS got involved with Emma Donnan to create an innovation school. Now IPS says they want to work with a new locally based innovation partner. A state board is set to decide who will be in charge of these local schools.
RTV6's Cornelius Hawker shows you how the community is working to get the board to side in their favor.
We are proud of our school.
At a public hearing Monday night, dozens of people came to Manual High School hoping their opinion would have an impact on the state charter schools board.
We're a family. We're a home for these kids. They are our babies. And I can't think of anywhere that's better for them than here.
Brittany Yanashik is a teacher at Manual. She's one of the people who hopes the State Charter Schools Board will grant a charter to her school and the others.
These kids know that they can come to their teachers whenever they need to about any issue. We will help them, even if it's not our primary content area.
In the case to continue running Manual, along with Emma Donnan and Howe as public charter schools, those in charge boasted about taking the schools from an F grade, which is failing, to schools that are now passing with a grade of C. But those stats and others are being questioned by some.
36 out of 50 Manual high school students have been directed to homeschool. They are counted as homeschoolers instead of dropouts.
Aaron Schouts got this information from a September Chalkbeat story. In part, the article shows the amount of homeschoolers rose significantly for Manual once Charter Schools USA took over. Aaron believes the reason for the rise is to make the schools look better than they actually are, something school officials deny.
We have very, very little trust for what they're reporting, and we have very little trust for the care that they're giving the students and the families here.
Both sides now await what the State Charter Schools Board will decide.
I just really hope that the board recognizes what we're trying to do and gives us a chance to keep doing it.
While we have the utmost respect for the educators and the staff here, we have major issues with the administration, with the management.
Working for you in Indianapolis, Cornelius Hawker, RTV6.
Well, if you missed tonight's meeting, public comments can be submitted online to the Indiana State Charter Schools Board until November 29th. We'll have their contact information in this story on the RTV6 app.
Now to the forecast. The weather is not causing any traffic problems tonight, but what about the rest of the week? Kevin, many people are getting ready to hit the road for Thanksgiving.
I'll just mention this tomorrow. If you have a flight that goes through Denver or Minneapolis, could be some delays. 5 to 10 inches of snow with locally higher amounts expected. That's the cold side of the weather system. We'll be on the windy and warmer side. 50-mile-per-hour gusts as we get to the middle of the week. Wednesday is our high wind watch. South wind during the day tomorrow takes our temperature back into the 50s. Did you like that today? We hit 58. In the middle 50s during the day tomorrow. The strong south wind, it will gust over 20 miles per hour. We're dry in the morning as you head to work. Then as we go into the afternoon and evening, you begin to see more showers. That's at 7 o'clock. I'll finish the timeline and we'll look ahead to our thunderstorm chances as well as Thanksgiving forecast.
All right, Kevin, see you soon. Thank you. An honor walk will be held Wednesday for a Southern Indiana football coach who suffered a stroke on the sideline. The West Washington School Corporation says Coach Philip Bausman died today after donating organs. He had a stroke on Friday during the semi-state game at Lutheran High School in Indianapolis. A man who coached Bausman in the high school says the entire community is in mourning.
People know him because of his kind heart. They know of him because of his dedication. They know Philip because Philip cares. We may encounter each other on the athletic fields and everything and have a rivalry, but when it all ends, we care about each other.
Classes at West Washington are canceled tomorrow. Wednesday's walk will be held at St. Vincent Hospital. Funeral services are set for Saturday. A woman is critically injured and police are looking for a suspect in connection to a shooting on the east side of Indianapolis. Officers were called to Michigan Street between Sherman and Emerson around 7:30 tonight. They say the victim is in her late 20s and was shot several times. We will bring you updates as we learn new information here.
You have a little time left to weigh in on a proposal that will impact some drivers' licenses. In March, the Indiana Bureau of Motor Vehicles added X as an option for gender for people who identify as non-binary. A new rule could make it tougher to use that option by requiring forms with a doctor's signature. We spoke to people on both sides of the issue.
It should be the same for everyone. If someone who identifies as male or female goes in, no one asks for paperwork. So if someone who identifies as non-binary goes in, I think it should be the same rules.
The ID for Indiana has to be full of integrity, that the person that's really handling it truly is that person. And if we do anything to change that, then we ruin that integrity.
Comments will be accepted until midnight. You can find a link to the email address as well as more information about the proposal by going to the RTV6 app and clicking on this story.
A Fortune 500 company based in central Indiana plans to eliminate thousands of jobs. Today we learned Cummins will cut its global workforce by about 2,000 people by early next year. The engine maker says demand has dropped faster than expected. Cummins is headquartered in Columbus with about 62,000 employees worldwide. Around 10,000 work in Indiana.
A reminder tonight, thieves do not need to physically steal your debit card to steal the money out of your account.
The card kept getting declined and was frustrated because, I had to call in the middle of the night and check it.
A Zionsville woman learned that lesson the hard way after Lindsay Maldonado's credit card was declined several times. She called the bank and discovered someone made hundreds of dollars in purchases across the country. She posted about it on Facebook as a warning, and at least 7 other people in Zionsville said the same thing happened to them.
The alarms, went off for everybody, and everybody's trying to spread the word just to be aware, to watch your spending, watch your bank accounts.
Lindsay thinks someone got her card information from a skimming device. Here are some things you can do to help protect yourself. Police recommend using well-lit gas stations and ATMs, preferably ones with surveillance cameras. Use your card as credit instead of debit, and check your accounts regularly.
An Indianapolis couple is giving back to the community, donating 25 Thanksgiving meals to families who might otherwise go without a feast this Thursday. RTV6's Cameron Riddle is working for you with the numbers that show how many Indianapolis families could use a helping hand this time of year.
As Thanksgiving approaches, so does the worry many Indianapolis families face when adding up the price tag for what is typically the biggest feast of the year.
A lot of them told me stories like, I didn't know what I was going to do. I'm a grandmother, a great-grandmother, a mother, and everybody come to my house, and I got all these grandkids, and I got $15 in food stamps plus $1. I was like, what? That ain't even the price of a turkey.
Well, that's exactly what Shireen and Jomo Cole wanted to change. The husband and wife credit each other with seeing a need in the community and forming a solution with a Thanksgiving food giveaway, a gesture that 25 families received for free.
We just try to do what we can because I know what my community needs, and I know what a lot of other communities around the city needs too.
The Coles work to serve the Near East Side community of Center Township, an area home to many of the 80% of IPS students whose families qualify for free and reduced lunch. According to the Indiana Department of Education, a family with a household income of $15,000 qualifies for free meals. That annual income breaks down to $304 a week, making Thanksgiving an expensive meal. One that Farm Bureau, in its annual survey, says will cost $48.91 this year. That price for many families means no feast, and Cole says that leaves a void.
It's that void that we can't never fill. There's so many families out here that's in need, and I wish I had the space to just have a lot of people that can come and enjoy that meal.
The food given away today was either purchased by the Coles or donated by family and friends. Now that they've seen the power of giving, they are encouraging others to give back too.
If families came together that could do that, even if they couldn't buy 25 turkeys, if you can buy a couple turkeys, just sacrifice, God's gonna bless you.
Working for you on the Near East Side, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
And dozens of families in the Martindale-Brightwood neighborhood will enjoy a Thanksgiving meal courtesy of the Colts. Tonight, players handed out turkeys and all the fixins for 100 families. Brittany Allen is grateful for the gift as she goes through a transition period.
Bills, and I just recently moved and everything like that, and I just recently got a job, so it's everything that's all at once. So it's helpful for me, people that actually, give out baskets and things like that to help prepare.
All of the families who receive meals are involved with the Edna Martin Christian Center. Tomorrow, the center will host a free holiday meal at its main campus on East 25th Street.
Immediately after the story aired, we saw increased traffic to our applications. There were more people that wanted to come into the class.
Coming up, a Hiring Hoosiers success story, the free program that's connecting people of all skill and experience levels to jobs in the construction industry.
For a girl in their period, having a clean pad is the same as having a notebook in class.
Next, what a small group of women are doing to stop period problems in Central Indiana schools and why this project is so important. You're watching RTV6 News at 11.
Select models. This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Let's talk about periods. It's a topic that might not come up often, but high school students I talk to say we need to start more of these conversations to address a serious issue: access to pads, tampons, and other products that help girls and women get through their period. I learned a group of local women are stepping up to fill a vital need, making sure girls have the necessary products to stay healthy and stay in class.
It's never a girl's fault that she has her period. It happens to everybody, and we sometimes don't know when it's going to happen.
Destiny Murley is a 17-year-old junior at Southport High School. She and her friend Reagan Dilk want more of their peers to feel comfortable talking about their periods, since it's a fact of life for young women.
Just like everything else that happens to our bodies, it's natural. We can't help it, and it should be something that we can talk about.
And getting comfortable with period talk is just the first step in tackling a bigger issue, making sure all young women have access to the hygiene products they need.
Not knowing if I have the products or not is even more stressful.
Thankfully, at Southport High, the school nurse's office is there to help.
For a lot of girls, this may be the only avenue that they have to get products.
The Southport High nurses tell me there are a number of reasons a student might need to rely on them for feminine hygiene products. Money is one obstacle, so is transportation. Sometimes their guardians are not aware of what they need. And other times, students forget to keep pads or tampons with them just in case. The nurses say, just like any other school supplies, having those items on hand is essential to learning.
The more we eliminate the obstacles, the more class time that we can optimize. So if she doesn't have the proper supplies, maybe it causes her to bleed through later in the day. And then what could have been a 5-minute visit to the clinic then turns into a 45-minute visit.
Classroom time aside, students could also be putting their health in danger without the right products.
I've had students come in and report to me that they've had the same tampon in since 9 o'clock last night, and it's 1 in the afternoon.
Just this school year, Perry Township schools have provided students with more than 1,200 feminine products. Stretching the budget to cover feminine hygiene products can be a challenge.
We had to scrounge around for it.
That's where the group Project Period steps in to help.
It's just our little 5-woman team.
Since 2017, Jenna Eichman and her team have been distributing pads, tampons, wipes, and even carrying bags to schools in downtown Indy, Franklin and Perry Townships, and Decatur Central. They also make deliveries to homeless and youth shelters.
It's a bigger problem than anyone could ever imagine. We were learning that girls were missing school, and these girls already have enough things to worry about.
They saw a need in their community and want to make sure girls and young women in Central Indiana are not getting priced out of products they need to live and learn.
It's not always provided by other community programs like WIC and food stamps, so we thought that we should be the ones donating it so they don't have to worry about it.
So let's break down the numbers. The cost for a box of tampons on average is about $7. For a box of pads, that can be about $4. So throughout the year for period cycles, that's going to be about $40 to $70 for one person. For a lot of Hoosier families, that's a price they can't afford. And that does not even include over-the-counter medication for cramps and for extra underwear. Right now, the shelves of Project Period storage units are well stocked, thanks to a partnership with Alliance Period Supplies and You by Kotex. But this is a rare sight.
Normally it's just one shelf, but we actually had to get a bigger storage unit, and we're super excited to be partnered with them. It's really helpful.
And that is why they are asking the community to step up and help them help our Indianapolis students.
It's important. It's a necessity. We think about food, we think about clothes, we think about shelter, but this is a necessity for these women and girls. I think a lot of people don't think of it as a necessity, but it really is.
Because of Project Period's deliveries to 30 area schools, students say they don't have to worry about that time of the month, and instead, they are focusing on learning.
I know tampons and pads are very expensive, and I know some people can't afford it, and sometimes I can't afford it. So knowing that I can go down there and get free products is really nice.
And Project Period also makes deliveries to homeless and youth shelters. If you would like to help the organization reach more Indianapolis girls, you can donate products, check out their Amazon wish list, host a product drive, or purchase their t-shirts. We have all that information on our website, theindychannel.com. And Indiana is one of 33 states where women pay a little more for tampons and pads. Feminine hygiene products are considered non-essential here, so sales tax applies. Since 2017, the number of states that have this exemption has risen from 5 to 12, including our neighbors, Illinois and Ohio. According to the law and policy organization Period Equity, the state of Indiana makes almost $5 million annually in tampon tax revenue. State Representative Carrie Hamilton introduced a bill in 2017 to try and eliminate the so-called pink tax, which includes anything that a woman needs to stay healthy during her menstrual cycle.
So here's some perspective. In Indiana, we have one of the highest pay gaps for women in the country. We also have one of the highest maternal mortality rates for women in the country. So this is something that we can do that is a small but important step to show that we care about women and mothers. So today, if you have a prescription for Propecia or Viagra, you do not pay taxes, but yet women are still paying taxes for the most basic of healthcare items.
And during the 2020 session, Representative Hamilton says she will once again try to create a tax exemption for period products. Even though she says things have changed across the country, she tells me she is not confident that exemption will get enough support from Indiana lawmakers.
Time now for your Storm Team 6 forecast. And this is a big travel week for a lot of folks. And many of you who might be hitting the airports might run into some delays later in the week.
I'd say Chicago, Denver, out west. There'll be some delays, especially during the day tomorrow. We'll get to why here in 1 second. Big storm system developing in the central part of the country, anywhere from 6 to 12 inches of snow, Denver to near Omaha, up to Minneapolis, and then into Wisconsin. For us, it's rain, maybe some thunderstorms tomorrow night, and a lot of wind with this storm system as it pulls away on Wednesday. Any severe weather potential with this, and there is some, from Missouri, St. Louis on down to Memphis, Tennessee, and then into Little Rock, Arkansas. Our temperatures tomorrow not quite as warm as today. We hit 58, but still well into the 50s. Our wind will be out of the south. I think the cloud cover and the increasing chance of rain in the afternoon will cut off the heating a little bit. Sky high chance for rain tomorrow night, and then overnight into Wednesday morning, maybe a rumble of thunder to go with wind gusts close to 50 miles per hour. So you wake up at some point overnight tomorrow night into Wednesday. 7 o'clock tomorrow evening, there's your rain, maybe a little heavier rain, some rumbles of thunder south of Interstate 70. That's through 11 o'clock. And here's a pencil thin line of showers and thunderstorms that will roll through just before sunrise on Wednesday. Wednesday winds 40 miles per hour or stronger. That's why the high wind watch is in effect from morning hours into the evening, and that will be a colder wind as well. So temperatures in the morning in the 50s, falling through the day. Thanksgiving dry 43. Chance for some showers on Friday at 44 degrees. Headlines, though, for Wednesday, it's all about the wind, the cooler temperatures coming in, and those gusts to 50 miles per hour. Temperatures in the morning are the warmest. They'll be in the upper 40s to lower 50s. Then by late evening, temperatures are all the way down into the 40s and upper 30s. So here's your 7-day planner. Temperatures on Friday, 44. If you're shopping, 40% chance of showers. Rain is likely Saturday, 53 degrees. And then by the time we get to next Monday, temperatures are back in the 30s for highs. Brad?
Kevin, thanks. We're going to recap the top headline from the Colts today. Eric Ebron going on injured reserve. He needs surgery on an ankle, and that puts him out for the rest of the season. Ebron had played in all 11 games, 31 catches, 3 of those for touchdowns. The Colts signing tight end Ross Travis to fill that roster spot. And good evening, everyone. The Pacers have been dealing with a wide variety of injuries as well. Tonight marked just the 3rd time this season, though, they've had their primary non-Oladipo starting lineup in place. They take on Memphis. Pacers really controlled this game all night. They scored 36 points in the first quarter, kept it going from there. Malcolm Brogdon back in the lineup, scores the floater. He had 14 points and 8 assists, played 30 minutes tonight. TJ Warren led the Pacers scoring. Great cut to the basket. Miles Turner the assist. Warren with 2 of his 26. The Pacers' long-range shooting was dialed in. 18 three-pointers in the game. Jeremy Lamb hit a trio of those. This one got the lead to 22 points. Lamb scored 19. And watch this at the end of the 3rd. TJ McConnell with the high teardrop. Scores it at the buzzer. Look at all the energy from the guys off the bench. So season high 126 for the Pacers tonight. They win by 12 and improve to 9-3 in the month of November.
Defense got to stop. We was able to get out and find guys, score. Guys did a great job of finding each other, hitting open shots, and we just got to capitalize on that. We have a lot of potential. We're clicking right now, so we just got to keep it up and get ready for the next one.
Pacers host the Utah Jazz coming up on Wednesday night. IU's off to an unbeaten start. Now the schedule starts to include schools that most of us can actually identify on a map. The Hoosiers put up a ton of points already this season. They scored 52 in the first half against Louisiana Tech tonight. Al Durham knocks down a 16-footer. IU had a 22-point lead 15 minutes into this game. Devontae Green scored 15 of those in the first half. 3 good to go. Hoosiers just 6 of 19 shooting, though, but they get it done with 21 from Trace Jackson Davis. There's the and one. IU 88-75. They go to 6-0. They're home against South Dakota State on Saturday. They finish up with Butler playing in Kansas City to start the holiday week, taking on Missouri. Get a look at the hustle. Christian David, weak side rebound, up and in. 25-7 lead. Just 8 minutes into this one. They kept a double-figure advantage most of the second half. Sean McDermott knocks down the 3. The Dogs are also 6-0. 63-52 winner. They'll play in Kansas City for the Hall of Fame Classic Championship tomorrow night. We'll be back to finish up the news at 11 next.
Rain.
Hiring Hoosiers is connecting you to opportunities to help you advance or change your career. We first introduced you to the Indiana Construction Roundtable Foundation in February. It's a free program for adults to enter the construction industry.
And the BY program, Mark, bridges the gap of entry-level workers to employers. Participants start in the classroom. After just 6 weeks, they're prepared to take their new skills directly to the work site. A majority of graduates are employed within 3 months. That includes Daniel Perryman. He works as a concrete and labor apprentice.
The pay is actually good, and then I'm great with my hands, and I needed a career, not so much of a job. If you're in position to take the class, why not? It gives you credentials on your background. It gives you something that usually takes you about a year to a year and a half to complete, that you can complete in 6 to 8 weeks. And if you're looking for an honest paying job and you're a hard worker, don't mind getting up, being on time every morning, they got work for you.
To learn more about ICRF and how to get involved, go to our website, hiringhoosiers.com.
1,000-mile warranty at Honda of Fishers.
Okay, relatively mild start in the morning. Temperatures in the 40s. We make it back into the 50s. The difference, rain chances increasing. Tomorrow night at this time, rain around, maybe a rumble of thunder. That takes us into Wednesday morning when it's very windy.
Oh, I would have just taken the sunshine we got today over and over and over again.
Enjoy it in the moment, right? Thanks for being here with us.
Good night.